One of the biggest traps in life is serving tables in a restaurant. It doesn't matter if it's a diner or if it's a five-star restaurant, it's still a trap because once you've been serving tables for so long or you've been bartending, you really can't do anything else. And then one day you look up and you're like 35, 40, 50, still serving tables, still bartending. And like, I'm not going to lie, that's a high level of customer service, waiting tables and serving tables. Like, it is tough. And you don't know how much hell they go through until you are one, because people freak out if you forget their ranch dressing, their side of rolls. Some will just straight up won't tip. Some people don't think you have to tip. And, it does nothing for your resume. Like you might be able to go into sales or some type of business. It might be a front desk person or some type of like sales rep within a business. But for the most part, it just straight up kills your career as far as like you getting a job outside of serving tables. And eventually, like, it does take a toll, because like I can't imagine like serving tables at like age 60 or 70. And then your only options be like an assistant manager. And then once you become an assistant manager, like the spots for general manager are so few, and there are so many like spots open for assistant managers. And then there's the one type of assistant manager who's like just like a fill-in when everyone's sick or too many people go on vacation. It's just not fun, And the restaurant business in general is just, unless you're like a kid in college, it just sucks, man. Unless you're the general manager, you don't make that much. Some assistant managers do make a pretty penny, but yeah, I'm so glad I got out of serving tables. I worked in a restaurant for like 6 years. It was the first job I ever had. And I did everything from dishwashing all the way to serving tables. I did everything, salad bar, cooking, meal prep. I did all that crap, man. And serving, I did it just to get to serving. I did it for a year. I got on a schedule, because that's the tough part about serving tables, is that, you have that one person that doesn't leave like at all. Like they've been there for like 20 years. They have the same schedule. They have their regulars, where they have their silverware and all the stuff they want, especially in breakfast diners. Sometimes they have placemats and stuff in their seat, quote unquote, before they even walk through the door. They're normally there, but as soon as they are open, they don't miss a beat. They're always there on the same days. And it is nice, to form those relationships with the people that come in the restaurant. But as far as your career, it's just dead. And it does, it's not, serving tables isn't demeaning, but you definitely aren't proud that you're serving tables. But you can make a good bit of money, especially in the higher up restaurants. And if there's alcohol served in restaurants, your tips go up way more. But working in tips in general blows, especially post-COVID, because people are hurting, And there was actually a poll. I worked for a bank in the past, and when COVID first started, they took a poll, and they were like, how are you going to adjust, or what are you going to cut back from the high expenses of inflation, from COVID, from the war, from everything. And one of the number one thing people said they're going to cut back on is going out to eat. And if you're cutting out on going out to eat, when you do go out to eat, you're not going to be out here balling, unless you're being tip conscious. You're not going to drop a very large tip. I drop a very large tip because I almost never go out to eat. I was a server, and I really do believe if you tip the waiter really well, it comes back to you. You'll get that money back some way, somehow. You'll have some type of good fortune where you'll benefit financially. But what do you guys think about serving and bartending in restaurants? It doesn't have to be 5-star. It can even be in a diner. That's the worst. When there's like a single mom like serving, and she's making the same amount as I was, and she's trying to make ends meet, and she actually has kids, like I'm just 21, 20, just trying to get me some beer money, and she's out here trying to pay like real bills. Like she has like there was a woman that I worked with at a restaurant. She had a whole mortgage, and I'm like, we make the same amount of money. Where are you getting this money from? Of course she had a little bit of child support, and I think she had like a cooking business on the side where she like cooked plates and stuff, but you shouldn't have to do all of that just to make ends meet. But it's definitely a trap. Let me know what you guys think. Like the video. As normal, I'm out.